Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to another Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And we just got done watching Better Watch Out, the latest Australian Christmas horror movie that is set in America, so you cannot even tell it's Australian.
Nope, not even a little. Not even a little. Like Housebound, you could kind of tell was New Zealand.
Yeah.
This one, you might as well be done in California.
Yeah, you really can't tell. And even the way it handles guns in this still feels very American.
It does, yeah.
You know? This movie is a very interesting movie because we can't really talk about what it's actually about without getting into spoilers. So I'll just talk about what the trailer says this movie's about. And the trailer for this movie pitches it as essentially a home invasion Christmas movie. You have this babysitter who is watching this 12-year-old kid, and someone is trying to break into the house, and then all hell breaks loose, and then Home Alone shenanigans starts to take place. Now, that is not entirely the way this movie goes, but we'll talk about that when we get to the spoilers.
Yeah.
But for now, let's just talk about how we felt about this movie. I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
it's really fucking good.
It's funny. The twists are really well set up, and you don't see them coming unless you're like really paying attention.
I can't even give like the really good fucking summary of the movie
I know.
without giving the plot away.
I know. That's why we're gonna
We're
gonna move on to the spoilers soon. But like, yeah, this is another solid Christmas horror movie. It should definitely go on a list of like some of the best Christmas horror movies because, I mean, right now lists usually populate. You get like Gremlins, you get like Krampus, and then you get like Christmas Evil and Silent Night Deadly Night.
Yeah. But actually, I love Christmas Evil.
Silent Night Deadly Night, and then you get like a bunch of like second rung ones.
Well, yeah,
this one could
Silent
easily
Deadly Night 4, the Toy Master.
This one can easily go up on there and be like a 5 or a 6 on one of those lists.
Yeah, it's reasonably high on the list.
You know, it's a fun horror comedy. It is a comedy. That's the other part of it. There's a lot of humor in it, but it also has a lot of social commentary that we'll get into when we get to the spoilers. Because this movie, despite being a pretty ridiculous, over the top, and hilarious horror comedy, it's got a lot to say about certain things.
Oh yeah.
And the cast is great.
For the most part, it's a bunch of unknowns with one potential exception, which is Patrick Warburton,
who's there briefly. In the movie.
He's super supporting role, he's barely there.
And everyone else, with the exception of the guy who played the Red Ranger in the Power Rangers movie, I don't know what else they've done.
Well, I wouldn't even call that guy a star.
No, he was just in a recent blockbuster, so that's the closest we get for the rest of the cast.
Yeah, he was the guy who played the douchebag, right?
Yeah,
okay.
He played the douchebag. Because in the movie, the babysitter has these two boyfriends who show up at certain points.
Yeah, like her current and her ex.
Yes, and her ex is kind of like this douchebag white guy with backwards cap kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
He's one of those kind of guys, pretty fly for a white guy kind of guy.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
And her other boyfriend seems to be more reasonably like lower class teenager, not really a bad person, just clearly not going in the same direction she's going.
Yeah.
Because as we find out at the beginning of the movie, she's going to move away soon. And that's one of the reasons why one of her boyfriends wants to see her. Or her current boyfriend, not...
Yeah.
God, what more do I want to say?
Dude, I think we ought to just get into spoilers.
Yeah, it's really fucking hard.
That way we can actually talk about the movie.
I highly recommend this movie. I'm going to include an Amazon affiliate link in the description below. And if you click that link, part of the profit for that link will go to me. I'll get a kickback from it, and it'll help me continue to do this show. And if it is currently the way it was when we watched the movie, it's 99 cents on there to rent. So there's almost no excuse to watch it. I doubt it's still going to be 99 cents after Christmas. So watch this, within the next 2 days. With that all said, let us move on to the spoilers.
Okay. This movie combines two Macaulay Culkin films.
Yes.
Which are Home Alone and The Good Son.
Yes, because the twist about halfway into the movie is that this entire home invasion is being staged by the kid and his best friend, and it's all a giant ruse to get the girl to sleep with him.
Yep.
basically he thinks if he scares the shit out of her, if he presents himself as this hero who saves her, then clearly she's just gonna fall into his arms and sleep with him, even though he's 12 and she's like 17.
Yeah. And there's a lot of Patrick Bateman in this kid.
Oh god, there's a lot of Patrick Bateman, right down to the fact that he'll like dance and shit, and like look at himself in the mirror, and he's super narcissistic.
Oh yeah.
Part of the reason why the boyfriends end up showing up is that part of his whole ruse is that he ends up inviting the boyfriends because he wants to kill the boyfriends, because he wants anyone that's ever touched her to die.
Yeah.
Because he must have her, that she is hers. So when we talked about social commentary here, this movie is actually a movie that is tangibly about toxic misogyny.
Yeah. Yep.
And male entitlement. This movie's 100% about that.
Oh god, yeah. Absolutely.
God, this kid, at the beginning of this movie, when you first start watching the movie, you think something's off about the kid, but you first think it's like his acting. You're like, you think the actor is playing this kid as way too naive for a 12-year-old, especially since we established that his friend smokes weed and does all this other stuff and is talking about him getting ass. So him acting all like innocent like he's doing in the beginning of the movie, it feels really off, and you think it's a performance problem until the twist happens and you realize it was an act. The kid was acting.
Yep. Yeah. He's totally playing possum and just trying to look as innocent as possible, because he is in fact like a fucking like narcissistic, sociopathic mastermind. And
once she figures out that, oh shit, like you've been tricking me this whole time, I'm gonna call your parents, you're gonna get in trouble. You might even go to jail for threatening me with a fucking gun.
Yeah.
And he knocks her out, and then the second half of this movie is her trying to escape these two kids that have now held her captive, and one of which could potentially rape her by the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It seems to be heading in that direction.
Yeah. It super heads in that direction, where there's a lot of like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, it gets super rapey.
But the thing about that is that's like that's a nice, solid, basic thriller premise. But what I like about the movie is that it executes it really fucking well. Like at the beginning of the movie, like you have the initial red herring of his best friend who after doing all these little pranks on them ends up jumping into the house and scaring them, and they're like, oh shit, it was just you. But then like a brick goes through a window and like a bunch of stuff happens when the three of them are together, and you're like, oh shit, okay, so this is not the friend just pranking them. There's an actual killer or someone trying to invade the house.
Now the real home invasion is happening, right?
But what's great is that when you go through the movie, it visually will explain every little trick they did in order to pull off this magic that made it seem like there was a third person.
Yep.
Like there's a timed catapult at one point in the movie. There is a light that they use to shine a big light through the window that was controlled by the kid, like with like a clicker. Like there is like a whole bunch of little things like that, and
it's like the shadow to make it look like there's someone outside.
Yeah, and it's one of those what do you call it?
It's like a cutout.
Yeah, one of those cutout people, and they also use this giant Santa Claus that they have as a Christmas decoration to like cast a shadow as well and like scare the shit out of her. And even like these spiders that jump out at her are his spiders that he has as pets, and he's using to like scare the crap out of her.
Yeah.
So like everything about this entire night turns out to be meticulously planned by the psychopath kid, and he doesn't even let his best friend in on a lot of the details.
Yeah, because you could tell that, he's just like, well, he could fuck it up, so I'm not going to tell him.
Yeah, and so like his friend slowly over the course of the movie starts to trust his friend less and less when he realizes, wait, you called the boyfriends over? I thought we were just going to scare her. I didn't realize we were going to kidnap her, rape her, and kill her boyfriends. Like,
yeah.
But he ends up going along with it anyway, because he's that character that gets sucked into like the bad scenario and doesn't know how to walk away. Easily led.
Yeah, exactly. He's like the easily led.
Which ends up becoming his own downfall in a certain way.
Oh yeah, totally.
Man, like, oh, dude, like this kid.
Yeah,
this kid's
creepy
great. As fuck. And the girl playing the babysitter does a pretty damn good job, because after a certain point, you're just like rooting for her to kick him in the balls. And like,
oh man, you love to hate this kid by the end of it.
You're just like, Jesus fucking Christ. And the best friend, I like the best friend because he basically is like, even though he's one of the villains, he's kind of the comic relief of the movie.
Yeah.
And he's pretty funny. I like that kid a lot.
Yeah.
What this kind of feels like, it kind of feels like, remember Scream? Remember Billy and his best friend?
Yeah, it does have that same vibe.
Yeah, it's like if the two of them were kids.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got that. It definitely got that same vibe. You got the slightly better looking one, then you got like the funnier one.
Yeah.
You know.
And you can totally see like his friend be the one just like, you're gonna call the cops? My mom's gonna be so mad at me. In fact, he even has a line that's very similar to that. In this movie.
Yeah. I think they did that on purpose, actually. Yeah.
And basically his whole plan ends up being this giant ruse. He's gonna invite the boyfriends over. He's gonna kidnap her. He's gonna rape her. He's gonna kill the boyfriends, and then he's gonna pin it off of her jealous ex, who he also invites over.
Yeah.
And tries to stage a suicide with him.
Yeah.
And goddamn.
Oh god, and the final fucking reveal of what it's all about at the end.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh Jesus.
This kid who was so stunted in his growth that he didn't he's obsessed with his mom's love, that he feel like he was unjustly taken from him because she stopped coddling him to bed. And you're just like,
yeah, it's kind of Norman Bates in reverse.
And what I love about that is I'm just like, wait, so you're mad and you're willing to rape a girl and you're willing to do all this stuff to get her to react because you're mad that your mom thought you were grown up enough that you don't need her to tuck you into bed. Whoa, you're a fucking child.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are fucked up. And I especially love in the end when she does her final fuck you to him and just gives him this massive silent treatment that makes him go crazy.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant.
That was a great development because the kid going crazy, finally losing his cool, is glorious.
Yes, especially when he loses his cool on his best friend, who his best friend finally realizes this is a bad thing and tries to let her go, and then he kisses her on the cheek in a friendly manner, and the main character, not the main character, but the main villain, comes in because the girl's the main character, comes in with a shotgun, shoots him, and then starts flipping out as, I told you not to touch her!
Yeah.
He literally thinks he is entitled to her.
In a big way. And then
you have that moment where it's you shot me. You fucking shot me. I'm dying. And that's when you realize that oh man, there's a chance no one's gonna make it out of this alive.
Oh god, yeah. The entire time you're wondering who's gonna live and who's gonna die.
Yeah,
and the movie has a body count of. Well, it's not the highest body count I've ever seen, but the murders are pretty brutal.
But it's not that high. It's you mainly have the people that are invited over, and there's no real extra.
Yeah.
There's no random caroler who gets killed or anything like that.
Yeah. It's not like a slasher movie.
Because it's really more like a thriller, but done as a horror comedy.
Yeah. It feels a lot like it reminded me of Dead Calm.
Yeah. I could see that. I could definitely see that. So it's not like a super high body count, but there is a body count, and it is bloody and brutal. They do hold back a little bit, but I kind of like the way they do it when the good boyfriend dies. Because throughout this movie they have this running argument between the main character and not the main character, but the villain and his best friend about whether or not in Home Alone the paint can would smash the guy's face or knock him back like in the movie.
We buried the lead on that one because that's one of the reoccurring motifs is would the shit in fucking Home Alone kill a man?
Yeah. And so they do this on one of her boyfriends, or one of her current boyfriend, not her ex-boyfriend. And her current boyfriend doesn't deserve it. At all. He's actually a really good guy. He mainly knows that they're on the rocks right now because she's moving away and she doesn't know how to address that with him, because how is their relationship going to last long distance?
Yeah. How would you, in terms of psychopathy, where does this kid stand in relation to the kid on the aggression scale?
Ooh, okay. The kid on the aggression scale is an angry sociopath, but he cares about his sister.
Okay. Okay. So he's an angry sociopath, but not a narcissist.
Not a narcissist. This kid's a pure narcissist. This kid probably has a personality disorder. Whereas the other kid, he just has the problem that he's a sociopath, so he doesn't really care about who he hurts, except for the fact that he loves his sister, because his sister loves him. So there's this.
Right.
So the kid and the kid on the aggression scale is actually the main character and a good guy. In the end, as opposed to this kid who, not the good guy.
No, not even close.
No,
not even fucking close.
do the paint
He's like
can
the purple
thing.
man without powers.
They decide to do the paint can thing and swing a paint can into his face from this banister, and it smashes his face, and it never shows us the aftermath. But the ways it like, and at first I felt like that's like, oh man, you're not going as far as I wanted you to do with this. But the way they do the intimation of what the face looks like really works, because you have the splatter of blood and paint that is all in the shape of like where he was sitting. So it's like there's like this triangle. Stuff. And then you also have like this massive like chunky blood just dripping onto his foot, covered in paint.
Yeah. It was a really effective. You could tell that not going that far in this movie is far less of a ratings restriction and more of a budgetary one.
It's a budgetary one, and it's one that they're obviously doing it for a certain effect. It doesn't feel like they're trying to avoid an R, because this movie is such a hard R.
Yeah.
Same thing when he blows his friend's face off.
Yep.
But they do show us when a character gets a fucking pencil jammed in their face.
Yeah.
Which leads into an awesome follow-up where they make the guy they stab in the face smoke some weed, and the weed starts pouring out of the hole.
Yeah.
And that's the moment where you're just like, oh Jesus,
God
no.
damn it, man.
Fuck. I love the way this kid like fucking manipulates everyone in the whole thing. It's just like, oh, like why'd you kill that guy? I thought we weren't gonna kill anybody. It was like, no, you killed that guy because you smoked weed and we needed an excuse. So when my parents arrived,
a classic like it's not my fault, it's your fault.
Yeah, but you're sitting there going like, as the movie goes on, you're like, no, you were always planning to kill him. You just needed an excuse so you can get your friend to keep going. Like, you know, you were always planning to kill this guy because you're gonna kill anyone that touched her.
Yep.
Because she's yours and you must have her. I also love his insistence that she's not a virgin even though she is.
Yeah.
You know, like there's can't possibly be she didn't sleep with any of these guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like she's...
He needs them to have done that so he can justify this.
Yeah, he can justify her as a whore or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even though he still like wants her and she's like purity and shit. It's so twisted.
It's messy. He has a complete Madonna whore complex.
Oh, absolutely.
Hardcore.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you wanted to comment on?
Man, it's a really good, solid movie. I think it works really well as a companion piece, a mirror reflection of The Babysitter.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like the opposite, because with the babysitter,
it's the evil babysitter, and this one it's the evil kid.
Yeah. You can even throw in Halloween, so you have the babysitter who's attacked by the outside forces.
Yeah, exactly.
You know. You have the Babysitter trilogy, Halloween, the Babysitter, and then this. And that way it will take you from Halloween to Christmas.
Yeah, you can fucking watch a Babysitter on fucking Thanksgiving, whatever.
Sure, whatever.
It's not a holiday specific.
It's not holiday specific.
Whereas
these
Better Watch Out is very Christmas
It's
related.
very Christmas.
It's a new Christmas horror movie.
It's definitely going to be on my list of Christmas movies I'm going to watch around Christmas.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, like, I can't, it was so impressive to watch someone decide to essentially, in many ways, do The Strangers as a comedy.
Yeah. But with a kid.
Yeah, but with a kid.
And it's not actually a home invasion.
Yeah, it just looks like it. You know?
I mean, the strangers, they're teenagers, but this guy, he's 12. He's not even...
He's not even a teenager. He's like a really young kid.
Now, I think he's played by someone who was a teenager when they were playing the role.
Probably. Oh, yeah, the actor looks like he's 15.
But that is one thing I will say about the movie, is because there is an age gap between the two actors, but because I think they're playing older than they were, I'm pretty sure she was like 18 playing someone who was like 16, 17, and he was like 15 playing someone like 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of that, it is hard to visually see the age gap between them.
Sometimes.
But the performances do definitely sell it.
Oh, yeah. You never forget. Yeah. I thought it was thumbs up.
Yeah. Double. Like, this is a 2 thumbs up, solid movie. It's got a excellent ending that I'm not entirely going to spoil, but I'm hoping they don't ruin it by making a sequel, because I don't think it needs one.
No, it really... If you have an amazing fucking idea, I'll watch it.
If you come up with an amazing idea, sure. Yeah, I would.
If you at least give me Halloween 2.
The one thing I wouldn't mind is watching this kid again, because as much as you hate him, he is fun to watch. He is fun to watch in his evilness, kind of like Patrick Bateman.
Yes.
And you do want to see, because both the certain characters survive in this, you do want to see a certain character brutally destroy another character. So
yeah.
And with that all said, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And with that all said, peace out, my fellow gorehounds, and I, the Horror Guru and Count Jackula, will catch y'all later.